Computer bedroom lamp to 100%. What is up, everybody? This is a live stream, but it's going to be a short stream. If you jump in here, I might answer a couple questions. The big thing that I wanted to do, though, is I want to come in here and talk about the HP Tuners MPVI 2, in particular, the Pro feature set, and kind of the misinformation that's been floating around on this thing. It's a little bit disappointing. If you go in and look at the Pro features, there is a disclaimer right off the bat that says, we're excited to launch the Pro feature set. It's available for purchase. On the initial launch, it will give you the ability to use ProLink and the Expander Hub. Great. Future updates of the Pro feature set will follow shortly with standalone logging, not available yet. Accelerometer logging, not available yet. Bluetooth flashing, not available yet. HPTNet activation doesn't even matter. That's what actually brings in the ProLink support, all that crap. So all of the main features that you would pay for, other than the two additional analog inputs that you get through the ProLink dongle, which they're charging $250 for right now, is not available. And if anybody jumps on the forums and asks, the standard canned reply is no ETA. This is complete and total BS, if you ask me. For one, you already have the MPVI Pro unit that allows standalone logging, and we don't really care about accelerometer or Bluetooth flashing. Those two things are icing on the cake. The big thing being the standalone logging. They've also talked about the ability to store tunes on the device itself. It has a memory card inside of it. I don't know if you can get access to that through the Pro feature set, but at this point in time, it does not seem like an economical thing to spend money on. So that being said, yeah, hold on, Mansour. I'll get to you in a second. That being said, I just wanted to jump on here and kind of do a disclaimer because I recently did an unboxing. Some of the features I expected on the base model weren't even necessarily there. There's a bunch of ETAs that they're promising. Obviously, this seems like a rush to market ordeal in which HP Tuners probably should have stayed in development. Listen, I've been using this platform for over a decade now. The original MPVI is a great device. The new MPVI 2 for the standard is perfect. It works just as good as the standard MPVI 1. So I'm not detracting from that. I'm just saying that the Pro feature set that they are charging $250 for has very little return, especially if you can use something like a serial connection for your wideband or a CAN connection for your wideband. So just buyer beware on that. It's kind of disappointing. I hate to quote unquote put HP Tuners on blast like that, but I feel I feel like the rhetoric has been a little deceitful on their part. They probably should have waited. You can't have all of these features and then basically have none of them available without any kind of roadmap. No ETA is not a correct response, HP Tuners. So that being said, okay, I got a couple minutes here. I'll answer a couple questions. And thanks for everybody that's jumped in so far. As I said, this is going to be kind of a short one. I've got some other stuff to jump on to tonight, but I did want to come out here and get that information out pretty quick. Casey, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Mansour, I've got a question. You'll explain how to tune Ford Dodge GM Gen 3 and Gen 4. I've got videos out there specifically on Gen 3. I've got GM videos that are kind of universal that'll work for Gen 4. Ford and Dodge is pretty much the same. I mean, you're tuning air, fuel, spark. So if you have a MAF sensor, which not all vehicles do. I know some of the Dodge Chrysler vehicles are going to be speed density only. Just get your fueling dialed in, then you can move over to your spark. So yeah, or you can connect to it without the Pro set if you use the serial. You got to have a serial gauge or a CAN bus gauge. I'm not sure exactly how to do the CAN bus gauge. I do have kind of a link that goes over the serial one here. Let me look it up. I'll post it in there. But that for a fact works. I've been tuning with that, and other people have been using the serial setup. It's basically the same setup.
This is Jeff. Hey,
sorry about that, guys. It's basically the same setup that we ran on the first version. There you go. Steven, it was great. It's giving me confidence to tune my Honda myself. Hopefully turbo my 2.5. Yeah, dude, it's the only thing that you need to be aware of, Steven, is Hondas can be a little bit different if it's one with VTEC on there. So whenever you go into VTEC and your engagement, basically it's a pressure engaged like solenoid. Works kind of like our cams on the newer GMs, where we get cam advancement stuff where you have oil pressure that engages, in our case, cam to green, but in the VTEC it engages the center lobe, which has a higher lift and duration than your standard cam lobes. But that's something I'm not really up to date on. I haven't done much Honda tooling. Okay, there you go. That makes sense then. Yeah, 2 fuel maps would make sense. Thank you, sir. 325 Sonoma. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys logging on your Sunday. Hey, Drew, what's going on, brother? How you been? Have you messed with the non-return PWM fuel pumps? Yeah, well, you know, the PWM, they're still doing the PWM fuel pumps on the newer generation. So even the direct injected ones run a PWM fuel pump to feed the low side fuel pressure. So do you have a specific question on that, Drew? It's been a while. I'm assuming this is Drew Graff. That's my cousin, right? Yeah, I thought so. Blue Fox looking to tune on a Fiero with a 3800 swap. That's an interesting motor. Fun stuff. 80-pound decas. The IFR data is flatlined across the entire table stock FPR setup. Well, the IFR, that's just because they don't know the pressure differential or for the flow rates on those. That's not that crazy. They just know that 80 pounds is probably where it's at in the 45 to 55 PSI fuel pressure range. And so you're making the corrections to the fuel table whenever you go out and tune it. Jorge, thinking about signing up for the $15 a month website. What are things you look forward to that you haven't gone on over YouTube? Well, the big thing on the $15 a month Patreon stuff, Jorge, is that if you have specific questions to your platform, I provide you an email that only those guys get, where you can send me a copy of your tune and logs if you have them. I will go through it, explain to you kind of some of the issues that you might be running into, or if you have specific issues that you're having, I will help you troubleshoot those issues. And just general, like, you have a lifeline when you're going through this process. So Brent, sorry, I went standard MPVI 2, supposedly upgraded Pro will be available once all Pro features. Yeah, you know, I will consider Brent upgrading to the Pro features. I said I was going to do it on a video here soon, but right now I think I'm going to be on hold because I don't know that it is worth the cost of admissions for what it is. Drew, keep finding conflicting info if Walbro 400s. You know, I don't know. I'll tell you this. I am running an Aeromotive. I don't remember which one. I want to say it's the Phantom. Phantom 340. I'm running the Aeromotive Phantom 340. It works with PWM. My advice to you, Drew, is if you can get your hands on a Walbro for cheap enough, just hook it up and then watch your fuel pressures. So you will know pretty quick whether or not it is keeping up or not. Fifth of the rule, I can't really pronounce your name. If my AFR error read in the positive side, but my fuel trim stay negative, do you think I have something set up in VCM set wrong? Wideband looks right. Your fuel trim stay negative. I would double check your wideband, make sure that you're not pulling air in on it. If your fuel trims are on the negative, make sure you reset your fuel trims whenever you're done also. You got to reset your fuel trims to clear those out and pull new fuel trims. But if you are still showing fuel trims that are on the negative side and indicating that they are subtracting fueling because you're rich, double check to make sure that you're don't have a pinhole in your wideband mount. Hunts, I have not personally tuned an i5 Colorado Canyon, but it's all the same. Doesn't matter how many cylinders, the process is the same. Alan, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm PLC programmer. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, hit up that subscribe button. Yeah, Drew, if it, you'll know pretty quick if it'll work or not. But as I said, if you do want an air motive Phantom will run on PWM, it will adjust fuel injection pressure based off of, your pressure sensor. So Steven has some info on copying 09 CTSV fuel controller data, other fuel controllers. Yeah, I haven't looked into that stuff that much. That stuff kind of gets a little bit wonky, so I try and stay within the realm of what it is, but might be worth checking into. Thank you, Hunts. Appreciate it. Good luck. Come back and let us know if you decide to go with an i5 or a V8. i5 would be more interesting, but, there's no replacement for displacement, which is why whenever we're turbocharging, all we're doing is creating artificial displacement. Okay, guys, I got about 3 or 4 more minutes here, and then I'm going to jump off. So if you got any more questions you want to shotgun out here real quick, let me know. Sure thing, Ghost. Yeah, man, let me know how it goes on that with pulling out the additional fuel. As I said, you can kind of do the calculations. It's not going to be accurate, but if you take Ghost was going from around a 400 cubic inch to a 325 cubic inch engine and was using a lot of the same stuff, but the same controller. And so he was going in and pulling some fuel out. It said you could basically take your 325 divided by 400. That will give you a representation of the percentage that your 325 cubic inches is versus your 400, which is around 80%, which means that you are going to be having 20% additional air on a 400 cubic inch engine, which in turn should mean that you could pull 20% of your fueling out. A quick way that you could try that to test it out is actually go to your stoichiometric table and subtract 20% from that table, and that will adjust all of your tables at once. Probably not the best way of running it, but it is a quick way of kind of dialing in and seeing like, okay, if I subtract 20% from the stoichiometric table and it gets me within a couple percent, then I can do that to my VE tables and my math curve. Casey, I'm in Pennsylvania right now, but I'm from Oklahoma, Texas, that area. Alan, have a 78 millimeter 3 bolt on a model built 5.3 with 2012 intake. Is it worth it to stick to a 92 4 bolt? Depends on where you want to cap out, Alan. You're going to be slightly limited, but sure thing, Blue Fox. Appreciate it. Hey, Brandon, welcome to the channel. You're just coming in here at the ending. I'm getting ready to wrap it up. As said, this was just a short one. If you want to, Brandon, whenever it's done, go back and watch the beginning of it. I rant for about 5 minutes about HP Tuner's Pro feature set on the MPVI 2. That was kind of the purpose of this live chat. I didn't want to shoot a whole video, so I thought I'd just toss a live chat out here, and I'll leave it public. But as I said, I was just answering a couple questions here before the end of it, and said this is a short one. We're probably going to do a weekly live chat or so. It's just an easy way to get to the bottom of answering some of your guys' questions. So I do appreciate you guys showing up and participating. One more. I'll do one more question. Next question coming down the pipe. We'll see if we can answer it. Infiltrator, if you're wanting a pro feature set right now, Infiltrator, get the MPVI 1 pro feature set as opposed to the MPVI 2, because the pro features on the MPVI 2 are not really pro features. So, as I said, you're better off with the AEM wideband. Yeah, I mean, I'm running the AEM wideband. I ran it with the standard. You can, if you have the serial option, you don't need the pros. The pro feature sets is, you just got to weigh it. It's, as I said, with the MPVI 2, go back and watch the beginning of this stream where I talk about it. It's not worth it for the MPVI 2. MPVI 1, there's some cool stuff on there that makes it a little bit more worthwhile. So, okay, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to pop a commercial here on the end. If you mind sticking around, that'd be awesome. If not, it's not the end of the world. I will check you guys later. As always, thanks for stopping by the garage.